Sup YouTube, this is Island here at the front, no D at the end, but call me Ayano. The first one I haven't uploaded yet, but let's jump into it. So, I just got done responding to a person's post, right? And I can't say the specifics of it, but she was basically asking, what's the point of it all if people always wore masks? If people weren't transparent? Or if people were transparent? She was basically saying, what's the point of it all? And it's always the same with me. Like, the point of everything is to just find what brings you joy, even when you're in the process of making and building it. That's what it's always have been. That's what it always will be. Like, you don't go for material things that are temporary. You go for things in the process of doing it will bring you that joy. And it's simple as that. Like, that is the simplest thing that a person could strive to achieve. Like, you're not going for anything else. And here's confirmation that I'm feeling right now. Like, you don't go for anything physical that you think would make you happy. You do the things that in the process of doing it. Like, right, like you're in the process of cooking, finding new techniques, finding new ways to flip, create, and to cook up an omelet so that you can be able to taste a different texture, a different flavor profile from the same exact egg. You feel what I'm saying? You're not dealing with just one way of doing something. And that makes you happy. That makes you ecstatic even. That makes you even eager to go into the kitchen to try and do it again. And that is why you'll see so many people that do cook at home all of their meals, they have no microwavables. And if they do have a microwave, they use it as a part of their cooking process and not to microwave anything that's left over. You feel what I'm saying? Like, especially for Generation Z and younger and older, literally any age right now. Like, there's this false sense of happiness with material things that people think would get them that type of happiness. Like cars, houses, etc. Even freaking clothes, drugs, alcohol, whatever. And yet, people really don't take into consideration how after you're done with those things, they feel empty inside. They feel like they haven't really done anything. Or those feelings, those negative feelings, those depressions, those anxieties, they are still there because they haven't really tackled the issue. Like, they could have a perfect life, have their money right, doing this, that, and the third, and have everything, and yet they will feel empty inside. You want to know why they feel empty inside? That's because they haven't found a way for them to really be in the zone and to just express happiness and ecstasy in a way to where they feel fulfilled in life. And to those people who have it all physically and feel empty, that's why. They just haven't found a way to get into the zone yet. That's the only reason why people like that suffer. That's why you'll hear so many people say that millionaires, billionaires, and trillionaires are not truly happy. And while, yes, that's true to an extent, the real truth is they're not going for what they love. And so that's how you have many people in wealth doing so many twisted things to try to chase that high. But as always, it's always going to go away. Like, you see it in the Roman times where they had gladiators, where they would literally pay to just go and watch people unalive each other, just go watch the violence just because. And while we have a semi-safe version of that via boxing, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's kind of twisted how the human race gets entertainment and excitement from violence. And that is mind-boggling. Like, right, because I am like that too. Like, I love to see a good boxing match, but I don't like to see a gladiator match where somebody is really risking their lives. And if they're the last man standing, they won, and that's the whole crowd going wild, screaming, celebrating them. I can't see that for myself, and I can't see that for anybody else to just enjoy. And And there's something about this that I just can't understand. Like, I get why people would do it, but because of how I'm able to process certain things, it's like, why would you do that? There's so many other ways to express that. But then again, and here it goes, here we go. We're finna get complex into it. I always stop because I'm saying it's too complex. Now we're getting into the complexity of it. What if that person is naturally just physical and they want a way to express themselves physically, but they don't know there's another way to do that, so they always use violence? And there's something else that you always have to factor in. Like, you can't just say, oh, a person just likes to fight. What if they likes to get physical? What if they like to get rough with other things? And it's not particularly a person. And there are certain cases where it is a person. But in those cases where it's not a person, then that person would have to just find an avenue where they could get physical, but not with other people, but with other things. Right? Like boxing training rings, or even just swinging bats. Like, there are things and places where you can just go to either get your anger out or scream or yell. And I'm not saying that those type of people have anger issues, but those are avenues where you can physically destroy things without no consequences. And I actually like that. I love that, even because it allows them to express themselves and to get ecstasy without them having any shame whatsoever. And I love that for them. And I see this so many times with so many artists who make it, or so many one-hit wonders who just fall off all of a sudden. And that's because they were just doing it for the money. Like, you see this with so many freaking artists and rappers. Like, I can name so many hometown rappers in my hometown right now that is just rapping, singing, making music for the money, not even doing it because they love it. And I can only name one person aside from myself. I can only name one person in my hometown who actually loves to do it. There we go. There we go. If it disconnects again, I gotta come back outside there. Sheesh. Always having that night. But like I was saying, that person, that specific person is able to freestyle and feel that happiness and feel that ecstasy to the point where they are able to just be happy every time they freestyle in that. And it's not even a distraction for them, because they always find new ways to go and spin and spit on a beat. And I appreciate that about a person. I love that even. And that's the only person who I know in my hometown. And that's the only person who I know in my hometown who has potential. There we go. And if you're wondering why I'm doing an audio podcast, this is why. He is the only person right now that I know that can really get ecstasy from that. And I really appreciate that about him. Despite not ever going to see him again. So when a person like that is able to do things like that, and it's not even restricted to just music. You can do this with cooking, you can do this with running, you can do this with literally anything artistic. You can do this with anything physical. You can do it by just sitting down and appreciating things. Like, you feel what I'm saying? That's a weird one, but how do you think that Buddhists and freaking Tibetan monks are able to maintain peace and clarity? That's because they enjoy just staying in a state of zone, a state of just meditation. They love staying in that. They love doing that. They constantly do it, despite how hard it is to do it for the average person, the average Joe. And yet they'll always go to the top of the mountain, top of a peak, or just inside of their freaking temple and just be able to freaking meditate and just gain so much clarity and gain so much spiritual wisdom because of that. And that's because they love to do it. They could have chose any other type of path. And that's another thing that adds on to this level of complexity. There is no right or wrong way of going about this. There is no right or wrong way of trying to go for this. The only right way for you to really do something that'll make you happy is something that you know that when you're doing it, you feel good, but nothing that'll harm you. And I said this in my last podcast. Anything that you love to do that doesn't harm you physically or mentally, or that doesn't destroy or freaking stunt your growth is always something that you should go for. Which is why I always promote anything that's entertainment based, cooking, art, even acting. I'm straight trash at acting, yet I still tried it anyways. And I'ma still try it again, because in the process of that, just finding out my type of voice, especially in voice acting, that's really unique. Even though I'm a rookie, I still want to keep on going to see how far I can go. And when you reach that level where you want to see how far you can go, that's how you know you have achieved another level of happiness. Right? And there's not just one thing that you can stick to. There's multiple ways for you to really feel like this. And I'm not even saying it's frustrating. It's like we have so many people who have been preaching this for so long in different ways. I wouldn't even say Muhammad, but you have so many people nowadays. Matter of fact, you have so many famous people, so many rich and wealthy people. You have so many people in the past, like Yeshua, Jonah, John, Joseph, etc. Joseph even. But you have so many people in the past preaching the same exact thing constantly over and over and over and over and over again. Do not chase material things. And this is why you do not chase material things, because they only bring temporary happiness. It brings temporary joy. When the real joy is just the process and just the excitement of just being and doing. And if you want true peace is just realizing that, you know what, we're not even finna get into that one. Because if people want true peace, that is just one meditation away. Sitting in a quiet room or a dark place, silent, where nobody can disturb you and nobody can really see what you have, what you're doing, this, that, and the third. When you reach that level and you're able to just gain clarity, that's when you know what peace truly is. Peace is knowing that no matter what type of situation you're in, you know that it will not affect your internal state. That is what peace has always been. Happiness and peace are not the same. And when you realize that, you realize that no matter if your kids go, no, I ain't even a curse because of the kids. You can be in a messed up place, and you can be in the greatest place in the lifetimes. You can be in both places and yet you'll still have peace. Why? Because you finally figured out that the only way that something can make you or cause you to have an emotional reaction is if you attach to it. And once you detach from that emotion, once you detach from the situation, that's when you maintain peace. That's when you maintain true clarity and peace. Especially in a messed up situation where you have so many freaking people, places, or things that are trying to bring you down. But they can't bring you down because you've detached from the emotion thereof. You keep your boundaries up while also being able to stay strong in who you are, in your peace, in your clarity, and even in your own happiness. Because with peace, even in a messed up situation, you'll still find a way to have fun. And once you reach that level, that's how you know you're truly free. Meaning, anybody who goes through a messed up situation, I don't care if you're a hobo, I don't care if you're a wealthy person, I don't care if you're the average Joe. Anybody who goes through a messed up situation and is not only able to manage their emotions, but not allow it to control their actions, are people who are truly free. And that is just a fact. The truly free are those who are able to not be affected emotionally. Because any action that we do is always based on freaking emotion. Even right now, the only reason I'm outside recording this is because I felt a strong enough emotion of irritation because of this freaking Wi-Fi that's been acting up, this, that, and the third, right? Which shows you how strong emotions truly are in terms of how they affect your actions at the end of the day. Emotions can cause you to do so many twisted, especially if they're unmanaged. Emotions can cause you to do so many twisted, unfaithful, so many messed up things to the point where you can't even pay attention to that. You can't even pay attention to what you have to do. You can't even pay attention to your family, your friends, this, that, and the third. Your emotions are your greatest superpower and your greatest weakness. Because once you know how to manage your emotions, now nobody can make you mad. You can literally laugh at a person trying to make you angry, and you can make them angry because they're trying to make you angry. And I've seen that firsthand. I've done that firsthand. Right. But that's really what happens. And that's why so many people are just in a rut right now, mentally. Physically, they may be okay. Physically, they may have it put together. And physically, they may have everything in life. But mentally and spiritually speaking, they are not only lacking, but they're suffering, especially in silence. And that's the greatest pain. Death is not the worst thing that happened to a human being. A person mentally feeling pain, wanting it to go away, but can't unalive themselves for it to happen. That's the worst state of being in. That's way worse than a person being unalived, a person being dead even. Because at least once you're unalived, you have 7 seconds until all of your nerves basically cut off. Not 7 seconds, but 7 minutes. But while you're living and you're suffering, you're constantly putting yourself in turmoil. And that's just a whole other level of messed up. And again, I do highly advise you all to please focus on the things that are just able to push you in a better mentally stable space. Don't interact with people who try to get you out of character. Don't stay silent when they try to keep you silent. Don't scream when they want a reaction out of you. Just do what you want and do what you can and do what you always have been doing. That has been always positive. That is exactly what will cause you to basically be able to do the things that you want to do in life. Because once you're able to do the things that you want to do in life, now you're automatically able to express yourself. You're able to go do things. You're able to take risks. And that's the most important thing. You're able to take risks without regret. You're able to take risks while knowing that, hey, if I fail, at least I did it. At least I'm not a person that didn't even try. You feel what I'm saying? At least I'm not a person that just sat back and watched other people just go and succeed while I'm over here by myself, just sitting here looking sad, looking unhappy, being like, man, why are they over here doing this? I'm not here hating. I'm here uplifting. I'm here trying to bring you alive. I'm here trying to make sure that you know that anything that you want in life can come true. I'm here to let you know that anything you want to do is possible. Anything that you dream of is possible. Can't nobody get you out of your emotions when you manage your emotions. You're able to stay strong. You're able to stay strong in whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in. Can't nobody ever take you down. You are way too strong for that. You are way too powerful for that. And realize your strength, realize your power. Know that no matter what anybody or anyone say, think, do, especially towards you, specifically, even if it isn't even directed towards you, if you're able to get triggered and you still manage your emotions, you're the most powerful being in this entire existence, because no one can manipulate those emotions. Now that no one can manipulate those emotions, now you can move, now you can take risks, now you can do things without even caring. That doesn't mean break the law. That doesn't mean you just go do nefarious things. That means that you're free from judgment. You're free from contentment. You're free from every judging eye that tries to look at you and be like, hey, look at this man trying to try. But look at you. You're still succeeding while they're still talking about you. Look at you. You're still succeeding while they're still in the same place. Look at you. You're in a higher space. Just like Eminem said, rappers, how can we be on the same level now when I gotta look down to see these clowns that are on the ground? Beware, I got the clouds beneath me. You are on that level now when you reach that state of being. And when you reach that state of being, I guarantee you, you are able to breathe. You are able to live. You are able to do the things that you want to do. You are able to live the way you want to live. You are able to breathe. You are able to feel every single emotion and not have it control you. That is the power that your mental psyche have. That is the power that you have right now. Take advantage of that. That doesn't mean manipulate it. That just means you have the power. You have the ability to say, hey, I don't associate with this emotion, so I'll put it to the side. You have that ability right now to say this emotion does not control me. No matter how strong that emotion may be, you have the power and you have the right to sit still and allow yourself to feel it until it goes away. You have the power to understand so that you can let it go. You have the power to understand so you can let it go. You have the power to understand so you can let it go. Listen to me when I'm talking. Listen to me when I say this. You have the power to understand when you let it go. So don't ever let anybody try to deter you off of your path. You're way too powerful of a being to even do that. You're way too strong. You're way too pure-hearted for this. You're way too strong-hearted. You're way too stable. Don't get knocked off your pedestal trying to prove a point. You can prove a point constantly all you like. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it gets to the point where you're constantly just trying to prove a point, that can stunt your growth. So do things without needing to prove yourself. Do things without having to prove yourself. And I guarantee you, you'll be in a better mental space. You'll be in a better head space. And I can guarantee you that when you finally do that, you'll live the life that you truly and genuinely deserve. And that's a guarantee. And I might just start another podcast. No, not another podcast, but another freaking, what's the name? Or I might just keep on going here. This one's gonna be a long one. Sheesh. Got me speaking like the freaking preacher. But bro, before I even continue, let me look at the freaking comments. Let's see. Ariel Meek, what's goody? Sky, what's goody? Hello, and thank you. I just learned a new technique. Jake. Do I dare get into that? You know what? I would have to ask, what would you do? It happened, and I'm so sorry it did, but what are you gonna do now? That's my question to you. What will you do? Will you stay, or will you keep your boundaries up and leave? Right? Especially if you know you can leave, especially when you know you deserve better. Don't let those happy emotions try to control you. Don't let those happy emotions try to say, oh, but we had these type of moments, we had these type of times. And while, yes, that may be true, you also deserve better. You deserve somebody that wouldn't even think about doing that to you. You feel what I'm saying? You deserve somebody that when somebody even comes up to your partner or your significant other and they ask them out, they'll instantly deny them. They wouldn't even give them the time of day. You deserve somebody like that. But notice, when that happens, you have to make a choice. Are you gonna stay or are you gonna go? Especially if you know you can leave. If you know you can leave, are you gonna stay or are you gonna go? Are you gonna stay with the person that betrayed your trust? Or are you gonna leave that person because your boundaries are that strong? Are you gonna leave that person not because you love them, but because you love yourself so much to the point that you don't ever want to put yourself through that pain again? Are you gonna stay with a person because they only give you good feelings, good times? Or are you gonna leave knowing that you can get that from any woman, any man, any they, them? I don't care what gender or what they identify as long as you're able to say, hey, I deserve better. And I know that I'll go and I'll wait, or I'll just go out and date the right person. And when I find the right person while I'm dating, boom, I can cuff them. Instead of always going back to what feels good, take a risk on multiple different people. Because you already experienced the pain of that. So you already can see the red flags of what'll happen next. But don't let those red flags stop you. Keep on going, keep on dating, keep on doing whatever. Don't let anybody stop you. Just know that when an event like that happens, realize and tell yourself that you deserve better. Always tell yourself that you deserve better, especially when a partner cheats on you. When they betray your trust like that, you have no obligation to them anymore. And that's the main thing that I want to say. You have no obligation to anybody who cheats on you, anybody who lies, anybody who manipulates, no matter if they did good. It's okay to acknowledge the good. But when you realize they were doing that, you owe them nothing. That's the stronghold of this whole entire thing. You owe a person nothing when they do that towards you. When they make you feel that way, you owe that person nothing. Confirmation by that light up. So, especially when you know you can leave, make sure that you're able to keep that in mind, knowing that you deserve better, knowing that you love yourself, even when your partner cheated on you. Knowing that right there, knowing that you will always love yourself, you won't ever go back to that person because you always want better. You desire better. You desire a person who wouldn't even think to do that. And once you realize that, and oh my God, we have another topic to talk about in this freaking live. How your actions, how your mind really do shape your reality. Because once you realize that, and once you have standards like that, but you also are able to spot the lies, the nefariousness, this, that, and the third, it's a matter of when you'll find that woman. It's a matter of when you'll find that man. It's a matter of when you'll find that they, them. Because once you're able to say, no, I see the red flags. I see what you're trying to do. No, I'm not dealing with you. Now you'll start to see less of those type of people. You're still opening your heart, but you're quick to take it back as soon as you see the red flags. And that's a superpower, because once you're able to do that, you're able to find the right person. And again, it's not even a matter of if, it's a matter of when you do that. Man, the kids are gonna have a field day with this. Okay. Now, here is how your mind and your thoughts shape your reality. With this same exact example, Jake, in the future, when you see this, I'm sorry, but you have to be the sacrificial lamb here. Again, what happened to you is no laughing matter. I don't condone it whatsoever, but you also have to be used as the example. I'm sorry, my sacrificial lamb. But when a person cheats on you and you immediately say, okay, you did that, I forgive you, but I'm not forgetting. And I'm also not dating you again. And then you're able to spot the red flags. Once you spot those green flags, boom, you're in the gold. And that's how you can change your life. That's how you can change your reality. Your actions and your mental state and your emotions too basically shape how you can have a reality to where you can do so many different things. But it all depends on how you move and what you do. That's all that it depends on, right? Like if you want some cereal, are you gonna go to the store and buy some, or are you just gonna sit down and just wait? Or are you just gonna complain that you don't have it? Like, which one are you gonna choose based on your context? You feel what I'm saying? Especially if you know you can get it, then yeah, hold on, let me get my words out. You might as well take that risk of going to the store and getting that cereal, no matter if you have your last dollars. Because if it's a strong desire and if it's that reality and you know that you're gonna get more, you might as well go and get it. Again, I am not I am not giving out financial advice. This is not the video for that. But you see what I'm saying? It is possible for your mind and your emotions to work together in conjunction to change your reality for the better, to the point where you can be a sheep in a den of wolves, and you can come out with golden armor. You went in vulnerable, and yet because you used your mind and your heart, you were able to get that protection to the point where you can literally go anywhere because you went through the worst type of ordeal. So when you do that, when you finally move and operate like that, now you can finally say, hey, I can really do this. I can really become an adventurer. I can really become an archaeologist. Right? Like even right now, I can really name a time period. Let's say 1957. Boom, you just got out of high school. You saying, dang, I ain't got no money for college, but I still want to do paleontology. And let's even amp up the stakes. You're an African American. Ooh. And you want to be an archaeologist that has their name known. Boom, you have that drive, ain't nothing stopping you. So boom, you go do the research. You work until you spend all your money and your life savings on books, on archaeology books, on expeditions on even plane tickets that will allow you to go and explore these different types of countries and cultures. And you realize that those people across the globe aren't as racist as those people back then. And remember, we're in 1957, a whole different type of world. Meaning if you're able to do that, meaning you're able to go to Africa, Asia, anywhere else, those people, and I can't say, I'm gonna have to really research that, but those people really aren't as racist as everyone else in the West. So when you realize that, now all of a sudden you're exploring everywhere. Now everyone is allowing you to really excavate, discover new things. Now you're in history over in their history books. All because you chose and decided to go somewhere else. Or because that driving you, despite the racial prejudice that you experienced in America, you still went ahead and said, screw it, I'm gonna do it despite this racist prejudice. You got that plane ticket, you flew across the globe, and you seen so many people give you love and express love that aren't even of your color, and yet they understood that you were a person and not just a color. And that is a beautiful story, because that shows the younger generation, and I hope that this is an actual true story, but that shows the actual generation that comes after you that, hey, this man went through the worst of the worst around the worst time where people were really getting taken down because of their color, and he still made a name for himself. Just like MLK, just like Miss Parks, just like, ooh, Rosalina, and there's so many others. There's this woman who is a guitarist, a blues singer. Oh, I forget her name, but man, she did so many different things. And there's another one who, even as marked as a black person, was able to travel across the globe, able to do so many things, act as a spy for World War II. Right, there's so many people that have done this, that are inspirations for people to say, hey, you can do what you want, especially with these people being able to go against the odds. Like, do y'all not realize the power of the human psyche? To my African American community, do you not realize how much of a disadvantage we've been placed in, and yet we still thrived? Not only survived, but thrived? Especially with those powerful leaders, not only those powerful leaders, but people like the first man who got to the North Pole or the South Pole, but somebody took his credit. But later on, he was finally recognized as the first person to reach the North Pole. Or people like Rosa, or people like blues singer who brung the blues to the African American community. Or people like freedom fighters, like the Black Panther Party. Literally like Tupac and his story about his mother. And I just looked up that story. Like, all of their stories are so inspirational to our younger generation. Like, we haven't really said why it's important. We know it's important, but we don't know why. The reason it is important, especially in this African American community, It's so that we want them to know that no matter what you go through, you can achieve anything in life. And that's what our bloodlines have done. To all of my Black, to all of my African American people, you know, especially with your grandmama, your great grandmama, exactly what they went through. And you see today how we are basically thriving. We have our own businesses, we have our own communities, this, that, and the third, and it's just going to increase. Like, do y'all realize how our own ancestors, no matter how distant they are the most powerful being on the planet because they were able to make things shake even when the odds were against them. And that's the most important thing. Those were the people who put their mind and their emotions to work to make a difference in this world. And every day I strive to be like that. I strive to just do something different. I strive to just be like those freedom fighters. I strive to be a little closer to Yeshua. I strive to be a little closer to Buddha. I strive to be a little closer to my ancestors, because every one of them, despite going through adversity, always, and I do mean always, were able to achieve the things that they were set out here to do. Those leaders, those people, those beings are powerful like that because they were able to achieve things that people thought were impossible, but they did it. That's the story that I want to tell these African American, these Hispanic, these Native American kids. Literally any child. Because remember, no child is born racist. Remember that racism is taught. It is not inherited, it is taught. So when you realize that, you realize that we are deeply connected. And since racism is slowly decreasing, despite us feeling the aftermath of that, you will recognize that in 50 to 100 years, this isn't even going to be an issue. This color of our skin isn't even going to be an issue. It's just going to be about human morality and how messed up a human being and a group of human beings can be when they get together and try to do some nefarious things towards you or towards another group or community of people because they share the same traits or they share the same interests. That's what this story has always been about. This story hasn't been about blacks versus whites or the Romans versus the Greeks. This has always been a morality between people in power trying to have power over people that want to be left alone, that want to be free, that want to do something in this world. But they have those roadblocks. And we as a species have dug under, have broken through, have flown over, have done everything against those roadblocks. And I'm here to say to y'all today, don't let anybody say that your dream is ridiculous or that your dream is impossible. When you've seen in history, oh my God, I'm finna go reiterate this. Don't ever let anybody in your entire life say that your dream is impossible. When you've seen people in history that have dealt with worse, and yet have still found a way to make it shake, despite how different y'all circumstances may be. Like, objectively speaking, their circumstances were worse, and yet they were still able to find a way across that, to find a way to make it happen. They were still able to find a way to do what they were set out to do. They didn't let nobody stand in their way. And guess what? Those are the people who stood out in history that they couldn't even erase. The public seen it. Everyone's seen it. That's how you have huge figures stay in history that have been so powerful. And I believe that's what I just want to tell the younger generation. You have these people that have been abused, that have been through so much, and yet we were able to thrive and rise, become the phoenix again, over and 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 over again. We are the most, what's the word for it? We are the most resourceful,
resilient, there it is. We are the most resilient, tough, intuitive, intelligent creatures on this planet. That is how we maintain the top of the food chain. That is how we were able to create machines that could take out beings and things that are smarter or stronger than us. We were able to do that. And being able to live a life like that, being able to live in a time period like that, being able to live in a universe like that. Ooh, and I just got confirmation. Being able to live in a place knowing that no matter what happened to that person, they were still able to accomplish what they set out to do. That is the most powerful being in this entire planet. Not what they did, not how they are, not who they are. But under pressure, under so many people that said that they couldn't do it, who they were when that time came. That's how you know who a real and true person is. That's how you know. That's how you know that a person is going to be great. When somebody tries to stop a person from being great, and that person goes around, goes under, breaks through, fly over, or even warps to the other side, whatever they do, when they find a way to do that, you know they're going to be successful no matter what. That's beautiful. Like, hold on. Like, that's really beautiful. So many people have tried to bring down these powerful, influential people, and yet still they rise. That's beautiful. You know what? I ain't even finna say African American, because I really want y'all to just know. To my black people, be proud of the ones who came before you, because they showed you that your dreams are possible. That's the message that they left us. They told us that no matter what happened to us, our dreams are still possible. That's what our ancestors told us. And no matter if it's your grandmama or your great-grandmama, or your granddaddy or your great-granddaddy, or your great-uncle, they showed us that no matter how many times they may knock us down, we still have the power to get back up and to make a difference, to become a symbol even. Letting everyone know that no matter what we do, no matter what they do, we'll still be able to achieve our dreams and goals in life. And I'm proud enough to say, I'm proud to be black. Not because not to glorify a skin color and a skin tone, but to realize that part of my lineage, despite me being a fraction of Native American, despite me being a fraction of Hispanic, it is me acknowledging that powerful side of my lineage that could not be stopped. That's what keeps me going. And when you realize you can't stop nobody like that, that's when fear drops in, especially if you're a person who wants control. When you know you come from a bloodline of people that you can't stop because they always get back up, it's not that they may have more power than you. It's the fact that they won't go down. They will get back up over and 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 over again. You'll take everything away from them, and yet they'll find a way to use their magic to create something that you didn't even think about. And not only use it against you, but actually use it to bring a better world in place so that we all can be in a better space and place. And I strive to be like that. I want to be able to uplift so many people and tell them, your dreams can come true too. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Woo, sheesh. This mug has been a long one, and it's really been a grateful one. I've learned a lot. But as always, stay peaceful, blessed up, miracled up, and know that you will appreciate what's taken care of. By divine abundance, of our high source, guide us what is everything that truly and genuinely enabling, because about you, deep within our souls, always remember that here you are loved. We care about you here. If no one else does, we do. I do. Know that no matter what, we are always here to give you that listening ear. Don't be afraid to talk to us. Don't be afraid to talk with us. We're always here for you when you need us. And always remember, when they knock you down, you have the strength to get back up. That's how you'll achieve your dreams in life. Okay? Okay! Now come in for this audio hug. Yeah, come in. And as always, he is a shape he said.